What are the options for on inclusion for
What we are basically
various
looking
governments?
at that in any case, we know that this is going to be new.
Hello and welcome to the first of our discussions from the Indian Express. We have our colleagues here and we are going to discuss the agenda for the new government, for the next government which is expected to take office later this week, as to what the important issues and policy ideas that government should have. I'm Seema Chishti, I'm a consulting editor with the Indian Express, and to my left is Vandita Mishra, who's the opinions editor for the Indian Express, and to my right is deputy editor of the Indian Express, Shubhamoy Bhattacharya.
On the right, have you said?
Let's start, I thought, with something that has been a top of the mind item in the campaign. Everybody has gone on about the economy, about jobs, employment, and such like. So Shubhamoy, you write extensively on economic affairs and you watch this campaign very closely. What are the top three things any new government should do on assuming office?
To me, the top three things is jobs, jobs, and jobs. And that is the key for any new government that wants to have a handle on the problems that is facing India. There are others that follow through, but I would say that probably from 1 to 10, jobs creation is probably the biggest challenge, and in fact it's not probably, it is the biggest challenge that this government faces. We have got 12 million people coming into the job market every year, and we are creating jobs gross at the rate of 2 million every year, which means if you make it net, it's actually even less. And that, I think, is a challenge that whichever color of the government that comes in will have to face, otherwise they are going to face music very soon.
That may be a medium-term challenge, Shubhamoy, but as a first starter thing, what should be the big bang three things? Agreed that should have jobs as an end game, but any other things they should be doing?
Yeah, the reason I say jobs is because once you got focused on that, then the rest of your priorities fall into line very easily. For instance, the government would obviously like to get a fix on things like we guys like to talk about the fisc or the current account deficits, getting the value of getting the exports on. But all of these fall into a pattern and way of working once you've got a handle on where you exactly want to reach within 2 to 3 years. And I'm saying it not even in terms of 5-year plan, but in terms of just 2 to 3 years, you've got to make a visible change in the number of people queuing up before the employment exchange. So unless that part is settled, those other things will not really look stable. So for instance, the first thing that this government needs to get is the investment avenues. We've talked a lot about it, you've written about it, Vandita has been writing a lot through edits on investment, and that is something that we need to get going. But that again, there is not immediate any quick fix. You'll need time to get the set of projects which are waiting on the table to be signed through, to be able to make them come up as a viable project which the banks can do.
If I may interrupt,
Sure.
Shubhamoy, in fact, I want to ask you as a question. You said that it will take time because the economic challenge right now is very large and very complicated. It's not something that can be done in a very small time frame. But one of the defining features of this campaign has also been this whole emphasis on the lack of decisiveness of, let's say, the prime ministerial office or also of government in leading to this economic crisis. Do you think that the new government is also going to be actually hobbled by these expectations of decisiveness? How much can actually a decisive leadership right now change the economy in a hurry?
That's a very interesting thing you said, Vandita, because by decisiveness, what do we mean? We mean that somebody taking set of decisions on projects and not saying that my own minister, somebody else from somewhere, acts as a joker in the pack. Now that isn't a too difficult thing. It doesn't really matter on which type of government comes along. It is basically an administrative issue. For instance, you want to get fix on urbanization, getting the cities working, getting garbage moved. These are not some things on which you need very great difficulties, but it's simply a question of getting somebody who says that these are our priorities and we will work on them. The UPA government's initial first 3 phase in the second year was a time when they knew what was the challenges. What happened was they kept on waiting on it, trying to decide on which are the ones that they want to pick it up.
And there were divisions within
And
government.
within that, the time, they lost the golden edge or the golden period, which any government of 5 years gets it on. And after that, other things started coming along and haunting them.
Shubham, may I ask, there is a whole expectation on Narendra Modi, a lot of it is big business driven, but even other than big business and corporates, there's an expectation that he would be probably more friendly to the idea of efficiency, i.e., free markets and, entrepreneurship of a completely different order from what the UPA spoke of. Can we expect a switch like that, or is that more wishful thinking of those who want the markets to play a more leading role in the economy?
And if I can add to that, isn't there also, again, in this whole emphasis on decisiveness, a lack of appreciation of the fact that we have actually decision making now, economic decision making also, at different levels, at multiple levels. States have economic models now of their own, and would it not be very, very difficult for one person or one government at the center to come and set a new direction for the entire economy in the way that it is structured right now?
Maybe, but then the problem is that while the states, they need to get on with certain things which only the states can. If they see that the center isn't particularly clear about which direction to move, then the states start differing. A classic example was what happened with the SEZs. That was something that the UPA government conceptualized and brought on. It was something which had a pan-Indian application, but it was to be implemented at the final level by the states. But once the states realized that the center wasn't particularly sure after the first couple of years when the backlash against layer land and other issues started coming up, the states shut shop and no one started putting up any application for SEZ. Now that's what happens even for subjects like labor reforms or subjects like education or subjects like any other in the concurrent list. If the states see that the center isn't particularly sure about which direction to move, GST was the latest example of that, then states start shutting shop on them and instead focusing on even smaller things to carry on. So we have an asymmetrical situation where the growth of the entire economy starts suffering.
In a situation where we are not sure whether the next government is going to have a majority of its own. So in a situation where the numbers are still, it's a fragmented house. So which means that the central government is not in a position to get what it wants through parliament, or it's not going to be very easy for it to do so, then isn't it also perhaps a better model to help the states that are more progressive economically, help them to take the initiative and help them to be the prime movers of the economy?
That's always a very good idea, that you make the states basically,
take the lead
on
issues and policy. And you just act as a facilitator.
Absolutely.
There have been suggestions,
there have been projects, and there have been yardsticks which have been shown that different states and across India.
Yes.
It's not just Gujarat which has got good models. There are Hyderabad, there's Ludhiana,
Tamil Nadu, there's Maharashtra, Haryana.
All of these have excellent models and of doing things well in different places. But the problem is again that if the center doesn't say that I want to get on with the business of governing, then the states, those models per se, don't rapidly lead on to value addition. They stay state-centric and tend to be a problem. As far as the issue about government not having the majority, I think the majority would be more in terms of the feeling that I have the control of what I want to do rather than absolute numbers. Looking at numbers, there have been Narasimha Rao government which ran with a razor-thin majority. In fact,
it was a minority
government. Yeah. It did wonders during that time.
Yeah.
There have been other phases also, in other states also, where governments have had very thin majorities but have done wonderfully well. Kerala, for instance, no government has really had any very strong majority. But look at the number of steps that they've been able to do. And yet there have been states where there have been brutal majority. UP is a classic example, where Samajwadi Party has had a fantastic majority and yet has been baffling.
Very briefly, the earlier point. So can we expect a non-Congress government, should it assume office, to make a philosophical break with, when it comes to the role of the state, private ownership or private economy? Can we expect a more sort of a Thatcherite model or a Reaganite model, or is that being too optimistic?
Seema, I think that will happen. If you, the critical word is, as you're saying, if you say that it's going to be a non-Congress government, which would basically mean that you're saying something like an NDA government, yes, certainly there will be some changes. There'll be, and one of the major changes that will happen, I would think, is that they would say that the role of Planning Commission, for instance, as an arbiter of fortunes, centers' fortunes, that definitely gets clipped very substantially. Now, doing that itself and
a lot
allowing
of this is-
states more say in manufacturing sector, which is what is essentially all it's all about, is going to be two very fundamental shifts in the
that we
Indian
can
economy.
expect. Okay.